Jack Elam truly hated him more than anyone, a sentiment that would later define some of the tension and grit he brought to his most memorable roles. Born William Scott Elam on November 13, 1920, in Miami, Arizona, he entered a world that would eventually remember him as one of Hollywood's most recognizable and unforgettable character actors. From his earliest years, Elam showed a fascination with storytelling and performance. This early passion hinted at a destiny intertwined with the cinematic arts, though the path to Hollywood stardom was far from straightforward. Before embracing the silver screen, Elam served in the United States Navy during World War II. His military service instilled in him a sense of discipline and resilience, traits that would later help him navigate the challenging and unpredictable world of show business. Following the war, he pursued formal training in acting at the University of Southern California, laying the foundation for a career that would span over 5 decades. In these formative years, Elam's blend of natural talent, distinctive personality, and dedication to his craft began to take shape, setting him apart from other aspiring actors of his generation. Jack Elam's striking appearance immediately made him stand out. Perhaps most famously, his misaligned eye gave him a look that was at once unsettling and captivating. Where others might have viewed such a feature as a disadvantage, Elam embraced it as a unique asset. It became the hallmark of his screen persona, a signature that allowed him to bring both menace and unpredictability to his roles. This physical trait allowed Elam to carve out a niche in Hollywood, one that few actors could occupy. His presence on screen could transform a simple scene into something charged with tension, quirkiness, or dark humor. Directors and casting agents quickly recognized that Elam's eye was more than a distinguishing characteristic. It was a storytelling tool, an element that could enhance the character's aura and leave a lasting impression on audiences. In this way, Elam's outward peculiarity became his greatest asset, allowing him to stand out in a crowded industry while offering something audiences could never forget. Elam's career spanned over 5 decades, during which he appeared in more than 200 film and television roles. He became especially famous for his work in westerns, a genre that seemed tailor-made for his rugged, unconventional look and commanding presence. Films such as Once Upon a Time in the West, 1968, Support Your Local Sheriff, 1969, and The Night of the Grizzly, 1966, cemented his reputation as Hollywood's quintessential bad guy. While Elam often played the villain, his portrayals were never one-dimensional. He brought a unique mix of menace and humor to his characters, making them more relatable and compelling. Audiences were drawn not just to his intimidating presence, but also to the subtle hints of humanity he injected into his roles. This ability to balance villainy with vulnerability allowed him to leave an indelible mark on the Western genre, creating characters that remained in the minds of viewers long after the credits rolled. Elam's consistent performances also reflected his professionalism and dedication to his craft. He was an actor who understood the importance of nuance, timing, and presence. Whether portraying a ruthless outlaw or a quirky side character, Elam's work elevated the films he appeared in, solidifying his place as a cornerstone of American cinema during a time when westerns dominated the box office. Though westerns were the foundation of his career, Elam's talents were not confined to a single genre. He demonstrated remarkable versatility, moving effortlessly between comedies, dramas, and family films. His distinctive look, once seen primarily as a tool for villainy, allowed him to explore a variety of characters, from eccentric sidekicks to offbeat comedic figures. Collaborations with iconic actors and directors further showcased Elam's range and professionalism. His ability to adapt to different genres and working environments earned him respect within the industry, and his reputation as a reliable and talented actor grew steadily. Elam proved that he was not merely a typecast villain, but a performer capable of leaving a lasting impression in any role, no matter the size or tone of the project. Elam's television work was equally prolific. He appeared in some of the most famous series of his time, including Gunsmoke, Bonanza, The Twilight Zone, and The Lone Ranger, each role reinforcing his reputation as a versatile and compelling performer. One of his notable TV roles was Zach Wheeler in Texas Wheelers, 1974-1975, a short-lived but memorable ABC comedy series. In this show, Elam played a rough-edged, long-lost father who suddenly reappears in the lives of his children following the death of their mother. The series focused on Zach's unconventional attempts to raise 4 children he barely knew, providing Elam the opportunity to display both comedic timing and emotional depth. Despite the show lasting only 8 episodes, critics and audiences alike praised Elam's performance. His rugged persona and eccentric screen presence added a unique flavor to the family-centered comedy. The series also featured future stars such as Mark Hamill, who would go on to achieve worldwide fame as Luke Skywalker in Star Wars, and Gary Busey. Elam's ability to hold his own alongside such talents further emphasized his skill and charisma. Elam was never afraid to take risks, and in 1979 he appeared in the CBS sitcom Struck by Lightning, playing Frankenstein's monster. The show's premise revolved around a scientist who discovers he is a descendant of Dr. Frankenstein, leading to a series of comic events involving the legendary monster. Elam's distinctive facial features and natural charm made him an ideal fit for this quirky, offbeat role. His portrayal blended humor with absurdity, turning a potentially frightening figure into a source of laughter and fascination. Unfortunately, the series struggled to find an audience and was canceled after just 3 episodes in the United States, though all 11 episodes eventually aired in the United Kingdom in 1980, offering international viewers a glimpse of Elam's unusual comedic talents. Even in the 1990s, Elam continued to showcase his versatility. He appeared as Hick Peterson in a first-season episode of Home Improvement, titled Birds of a Feather Flock to Taylor, Season 1, Episode 20. Sharing the screen with Tim Allen and Hollywood legend Ernest Borgnine, Elam brought his signature eccentricity and comedic timing to the role. For audiences who remembered him as a menacing outlaw in westerns, seeing Elam in a modern family sitcom was a reminder of his broad range. He could still command attention and evoke laughter, proving that his talent had endured across decades and genres. On the big screen, Elam further cemented his reputation for eccentric comedy with his role as Dr. Nicholas Van Helsing, a self-described crazed proctologist, in the 1981 action comedy blockbuster The Cannonball Run. Directed by Hal Needham, the film featured an all-star cast including Burt Reynolds, Dom DeLuise, and Farrah Fawcett, and centered on a cross-country car race filled with slapstick humor and outrageous characters. Elam's performance stood out as one of the film's most memorable, his wild-eyed antics and offbeat charm making even a small role unforgettable. The audience response was strong enough that he reprised the role 3 years later in the sequel Cannonball Run 2, 1984, once again delighting fans with his unpredictable comedic energy. These performances highlighted Elam's ability to take even the most absurd situations and make them compelling, memorable, and thoroughly entertaining. Jack Elam's career remains a testament to the power of individuality in Hollywood. He transformed what might have been perceived as a physical flaw into a defining characteristic, using it to enhance his performances and create unforgettable characters. Known for his menacing presence, quirky humor, and remarkable versatility, Elam left an indelible mark on both film and television. Whether portraying a ruthless outlaw, a quirky father, or an eccentric comedic figure, he brought depth, charm, and unpredictability to every role. His work continues to inspire actors and entertain audiences, ensuring that the legacy of Jack Elam, Hollywood's quintessential bad guy with a surprising heart, remains secure in the annals of cinematic history. Jack Elam's career was not only defined by his own performances, but also by the remarkable actors he shared the screen with. From Burt Reynolds and Dom DeLuise in The Cannonball Run to Mark Hamill in Texas Wheelers, Elam consistently held his own alongside Hollywood heavyweights. His ability to blend seamlessly into ensembles, whether as a menacing figure or a comedic foil, showcased his professionalism and adaptability. Directors valued him for his reliability and for the unpredictable energy he brought to every scene. Even when sharing limited screen time with stars, Elam had a way of commanding attention, leaving a lasting impression without overshadowing the rest of the cast. His work demonstrated that true character actors elevate every project they join, and his collaborations remain some of the most memorable moments of late 20th century cinema. What set Elam apart from other actors playing villains was his nuanced approach. He never relied solely on intimidation or menace. Instead, he infused even the darkest characters with a hint of humor, a twinkle of unpredictability, or a trace of humanity. This subtle layering made his villains feel real, multidimensional, and, surprisingly, relatable. Audiences often remembered Elam's antagonists not merely for their actions, but for their quirks and peculiarities. Whether a ruthless outlaw in a Western or a bizarre comic figure in a sitcom, his approach to villainy became a trademark. This mastery allowed him to avoid typecasting in a limiting way, making each performance fresh and engaging. Beyond Westerns and feature films, Elam left a unique mark on television sitcoms. His roles in Texas Wheelers, Struck by Lightning, and guest appearances in Home Improvement demonstrated that he could be both eccentric and endearing. In sitcoms, timing is everything, and Elam's innate sense of rhythm and improvisational skill allowed him to shine even in small or experimental roles. Critics often praised him for balancing ruggedness with warmth, proving that a character actor could still steal scenes without overwhelming the main cast. His work in television remains a testament to his range and willingness to experiment, leaving a legacy that extends beyond traditional film audiences. Off-screen, Jack Elam was far removed from the dangerous or quirky characters he portrayed. Known among colleagues for his humor, intelligence, and kindness, he was respected as a mentor to younger actors and a reliable collaborator. His public appearances often reflected his playful side, and fans were charmed by the contrast between his screen personas and real-life personality. Elam's ability to separate his personal life from his professional roles allowed him to maintain longevity in Hollywood. While audiences remembered him as a villain or eccentric, those who worked closely with him spoke of his humility, work ethic, and genuine warmth, a testament to the depth of his character both on and off the camera. Jack Elam's influence extends beyond his filmography. Aspiring actors have cited his mastery of character work, his embrace of unique physical traits, and his fearless approach to diverse roles as inspirational. He demonstrated that unconventional appearances or traits could be transformed into iconic hallmarks, encouraging performers to embrace individuality rather than conforming to Hollywood norms. His combination of menace, humor, and subtle humanity set a standard for character actors that persists today. Directors, casting agents, and writers often reference Elam when seeking actors capable of leaving a lasting impression with limited dialogue or screen time. His career serves as a blueprint for turning perceived weaknesses into defining strengths, proving that character actors can become legends in their own right. While Jack Elam may not have received mainstream award recognition like some of his contemporaries, his contributions were celebrated within the industry. Film historians and critics often highlight his performances as essential to the success of the projects he joined. His ability to combine physical comedy, dramatic tension, and subtle emotional nuance earned him enduring respect from peers and audiences alike. Festivals, retrospectives, and television specials frequently feature Elam's work, celebrating his versatility and unique screen presence. Even decades after his peak, his name remains synonymous with unforgettable supporting roles, memorable villains, and eccentric comedic characters, a legacy of performance excellence that continues to inspire admiration. Jack Elam was known for bringing a sense of spontaneity to the set. Cast members often recounted how his improvisational skills could turn an ordinary scene into something unexpectedly hilarious or tense. On the set of The Cannonball Run, for instance, Elam would frequently add subtle gestures or expressions that weren't in the script, creating moments of pure comic brilliance. Directors appreciated this quality, recognizing that Elam's unpredictability could elevate the material and keep the energy on set dynamic. Crew members often described him as a calming presence off camera, despite his chaotic and menacing personas on screen. These behind-the-scenes moments contributed significantly to the charm and authenticity of his performances, making him both a joy and a challenge to work with. Despite his talent and iconic status, Elam faced challenges in Hollywood. Typecasting was a persistent issue. His misaligned eye and rugged features often led casting agents to pigeonhole him as a villain or eccentric. However, Elam embraced these challenges, turning them into opportunities to create memorable and multi-dimensional characters. Additionally, some of his experimental roles, such as Struck by Lightning, were commercial failures, leading to brief cancellations. Yet, rather than discouraging him, these setbacks seemed to fuel his determination to keep exploring diverse characters. Elam's resilience and adaptability allowed him to maintain a long and varied career, proving that perseverance, talent, and a willingness to take risks are essential qualities in Hollywood. Even decades after his peak, Jack Elam continues to enjoy enduring popularity among fans of classic cinema and television. His appearances in westerns, comedies, and sitcoms have left an indelible mark on audiences, who admire both his eccentric charm and his ability to fully inhabit a character. Fan conventions, retrospectives, and online communities celebrate his work, often sharing clips, anecdotes, and favorite performances. Elam's memorable expressions, quirky timing, and offbeat humor continue to resonate with new generations of viewers. This lasting fan appreciation underscores the timeless quality of his performances and the unique space he occupies in the hearts of cinema lovers worldwide.